Call of Duty has just dropped all the details for Season 1 Reloaded for Modern Warfare 3. We'll be diving into everything zombies and other things coming, but I'm sure with you reading the title of this video, this update is going to be quite disappointing for a lot of players. So we're going to dive into all of the details, but we're also going to give some constructive criticism and discussion about the lack of content in this update and be completely civil about it because I'm sure there are reasons behind it. And we're only a month away from the big Season 2 update, which is bound to contain more than this. So as we get into it, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below, but please be civil because at the end of the day, we just want this mode to succeed. And some others may see content updates a little differently to others. But jumping into things, before today, we knew that Season 1 Reloaded was going to come with a new warlord called Dockerby. As far as what's been posted by Call of Duty on the blog, that is the only thing that's coming to zombies. She's already in the game as a Season 1 operator that you can play as, and we now know a little bit more about the details on where this warlord is going to reside and how she's going to work. So operators are going to find Dockerby's fortress at the top of a skyscraper in Zaravan City. So rather than with Legacy, where it's just an area on the map that is fully built purposely for that fortress, this is going to be on an already existing area, but it's going to be on top of a building. I think that's a really cool twist, and I firmly believe that this could be the building where you get the free stamina up perk. But judging from the screenshot, it more looks like the massive skyscraper, which you have the multiple cranes to get on top of, and most people use it to jump off. That's the remake of the MW3 map Hard Hat. Now, I could be wrong, and there could be quite a few different skyscrapers, but I feel like this will just add some extra challenge to getting that free perk, because we described that the warlord uses drones, turrets, and a Wilson as her main line of defense. And I assume the only way to get to the boss is going to be by going up several flights of stairs. You won't be able to rappel up to the top of the skyscraper. You're going to have to go the old-fashioned way, and there's going to be a ton of technological deterrents to try and stop you in your tracks from reaching the top. It's described that once you are skilled enough to get past the initial deterrents, you will find an elusive opponent equally capable of evasion and attack. So it sounds like a fun and unique boss, but literally that is all that's written on the blog post when it comes to zombies. I mean, they include a screenshot of the red worm boss, and there's no relevance to why they're showing it, but that's the only thing, literally the only thing. Don't get me wrong, the addition of a new warlord I'm more than happy to see, but I think the theming itself of Dockerby, it just doesn't really feel zombies related. I mean, the legacy boss doesn't feel zombies related either. Narratively, they're trying to evolve terminus outcomes of all these different warlords, and that makes sense, but I'd just love to fight something that's not a human. The red worm was an incredible addition in Season 1 and is easily the most replayable thing in the mode right now. But outside of that, the mode just feels really stale. It just really needs more things to do in the game. And I know that Treyarch are juggling a lot on their plate right now. They're currently developing this year's Call of Duty game as you're watching this video, so clearly they have their work cut out. And being realistic, that is probably why we're not seeing a lot here with this update. And I don't want to come across at all that I'm being hyperbolic by saying that this update is disappointing, because at the core of it, I love Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, and I think this mode has so much potential and there's so many cool things that they can do with it. But with the ratio of content that the Christmas update brought to zombies in comparison to Warzone and multiplayer, and now we're seeing the same thing here with Season 1 Reloaded, I really don't want this mode to suddenly become an afterthought. I want it to succeed, and I want to see this become an even bigger mode than it already is. And for all we know, that is what Treyarch could be working on right now. There's also the chance that there is going to be a ton of quality of life updates, and maybe even some secrets in the Season 1 Reloaded update that hasn't been shared yet via this blog post. You need to remember that the Season 1 Reloaded announcement also didn't mention about the red worm boss fight in any capacity, nor did we even know until a few days prior that there was some Easter egg quest tied to the Dark Ether. You could take this as copium or not, but I'm sure there's some reasons as to why there is not a lot of content here for Season 1 Reloaded. But what makes Modern Warfare 3 Zombies so unique for Treyarch as a platform rather than a round-based map is that they can continuously update this map, which is something they've never been able to previously do with any other round-based zombies map. But I just don't think that's going to be the case because of how busy they are with their own game, which is a real shame because this is an incredible platform where they could have small weekly updates to the map that just add little things here and there, a little bit like how Fortnite does, that can just add to the gameplay experience already, even if it was unique zombies weekly challenges that had some unique rewards or limited time things that exist in the map for a certain amount of time and rotate between different things. Once you've done all the acts and gotten all of the new schematics, there is nothing to do. And I just think this is quite a disappointing update because of the nature of the game mode. It lives and breathes when there is new things added, but until we get new acts and new missions, there is no real reason to play the mode all the time. And part of me hopes and believes that the reason why there is so little with Season 1 Reloaded is because they are going to add a ton of stuff in Season 2. We know that it's guaranteed that we're going to be getting a new act mission at least with Season 2, with another storyline cutscene, but I really hope Treyarch go out swinging with Season 2, because we know there is a ton of leaked features that are supposed to be in the works and coming to Zombies at some point, and we assume that that could have been with Season 1 Reloaded, but it doesn't look to be the case. And we've recently discussed this on the channel, but there is some wild things that have been found in the code of the game that has been there since the game first came out. We're talking about features like a wallet system where you'll be able to actually exfil with cash and use it in a following game instead of it being converted into XP. And this was an update that happened to the DMZ mode later in its life cycle as well. That originally didn't have a wallet system or the other systems that we're going to talk about, but they came as time went on. But the difference here is DMZ was the first time a mode like that existed in COD, where it had these quality of life updates that were brand new innovations to Call of Duty at the time. But now we have a mode which has a lot of DMZ's DNA, and rather than it launching or having most of those new features straight off the bat, it seems some of those features may also slowly be drip fed over the seasons rather than it being there right out of the gate. So we talked about the wallet system, but there's also leaked of an exfil streak system where, just like DMZ, every time you completed one contract and exfilled, you would gain an additional random perk next time you loaded in. You could get up to a 10 exfil streak, which would gain you 10 random perks, and also if you died would drop the most valuable dog tag in the game. And similarly, leaked for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, there's going to be different benefits that you'll get the further you go through an exfil streak, where you'll get discounts off of perks, pack-a-punch, and spawning in with points straight out of the gate. But those are pretty big game features to add in, which would completely change up the mode. But there are some other quality of life updates that we really need sooner rather than later, such as an upgrade to our stashes. Only being able to have 10 slots is just painful now. A lot of players have played for so long and there's so many items that 10 is just not enough. There's also been a lot of complaints about how long cooldowns are on certain schematics, where some are like 3 days long, which is absolutely insane, and that there is no way to reduce this cooldown. And there should be ways in game where you can reduce the cooldown on a schematic, such as exfilling with that schematic again, or being able to convert your money into XP to cool it down. I could be completely wrong, and Treyarch might be adding a ton of quality of life stuff to Zombies next week, and if so, I'll be sure to update you guys. But as far as what Call of Duty has said themselves, the Warlord is the only new thing. Now, really weirdly, within the files of the game, people have also found the Extinction Gargoyle alien model, which is directly from Call of Duty Ghosts. It's not been recreated for this engine. It's literally straight ripped out of the Ghost files and for some reason in Zombies, but it can be fully loaded in, and it looks really strange. And I don't know if this is a sign that we might see some Extinction and Zombies crossover, or it could just be one of the weirdest leftovers to ever exist inside of a modern COD game. But it would be incredible to see some of this crossover, as it's an easy library of enemies that they could add into the game, and because they're not just straight human AI, they're a lot more interesting to take down and fight as well. I'm also a little concerned about this Warlord boss, because in the actual blog post itself, it describes that defeating her will earn you high tier loot, which doesn't give me a lot of confidence that this is going to be any new loot that we've not been able to get before. You can earn some pretty decent stuff from taking down the Legacy Fortress, like the Scorcher to use in that game, or a ray gun, as well as his signature shotgun, which is pretty good. But on top of that, and like maybe a perk or so, there isn't much point doing it outside of if you're doing it for a mission or a calling card or something like that. What also leaked to be coming to the game at some point soon is new perks, alternate ammo types, and a lot more Warlords. Like, there is a list of like 7 to 8 of them. So why one single Warlord is the only thing we're seeing in this Reloaded update, I am not too sure. I genuinely hope that it is just because there is so much that they're saving for Season 2. But this mode is so damn good, it just needs to get more frequent updates. That's the only thing. Because outside of using new weapons in Zombies and testing out the aftermarket parts every week, there isn't really anything new going on. But I really want to know what you think about this all down below in the comment section. I'm going to try and read every single comment. If there's any suggestions on what you think Treyarch should add into the mode to make it better as quality of life or gameplay features, let me know, because who knows, the developer could be reading it and it could be feedback that could be implemented in the future.